What do I want to talk about today? I'll tell you what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about IP and successful IPs and what I believe is a very successful entry into the Predator IP. Predator Badlands. Dan Trachtenberg's third Predator film. And dare we say, Dan Trachtenberg is completely, after Shane Black, God bless him's The Predator, I thought maybe we'd never see another Predator on big screens again. And we haven't until now. We saw Prey on TV screens, and we saw Killer of Killers, Predator Killer of Killers, the animated film, also on Hulu. And now we have Predator Badlands. We have Dan Trachtenberg making the transition to the big screen in what I would say is grand fashion. Now, I've seen a lot, man. I was told when I gave my out of the theater review, I was told that I was giving an anal plug of a review, which I don't know what's so wrong with that, because a good application of an anal plug along with a nice rim job is never bad for anybody. But that's what I was told. Also, really, you can see it. You can see it on X right now. And also, there's a lot of people that are saying that they were saying that my opinion is suspect because I like Picard season 3. Well, history, there's a lot of people that might not have, but history has deemed it a success. And I think that Dan Trachtenberg, with the Predator franchise, with Prey and Killer of Killers, certainly deserves our respect because he made 2 movies that I particularly enjoyed. And now, let's be honest, first of all. I saw Predator in the theater when it first came out. It was one of the big franchises that I still saw when I lived in the Seattle area before I moved here in 88. And it was interesting because 88 was when I saw Die Hard, the summer that it opened, at a special screening. They had a screening about a week before Die Hard opened to gin up interest in the public because people forget now, but people are like, Bruce Willis in an action movie? Really? So they had a public sneak to gin up word of mouth. But when I saw Predator, obviously I loved Predator. But Predator is not a masterpiece. You know, John McTiernan had made Nomads, which he wrote and directed, and then Predator was his next film. Predator is a very fun movie. But I don't think it has the most satisfying climax in the world. And I don't think anybody else thinks that either. Predator is by no means perfect. It's awesome. Make no mistake. It's awesome. I consider the alien xenomorph to be one of the greatest alien monster designs in history. And I think the Predator is right up there. I would have thought that the Predator concept sort of played itself out until I saw Dan Trachtenberg's Prey. What an interesting idea. And what's implicit in that movie is that Amber Midthunder's character is kind of like, in a way, she's proving herself. You know, it's all that idea of being a warrior and having to prove your mettle against an opponent is something that goes back to antiquity in terms of storytelling, which I love, you know, and I love what Trachtenberg did with Prey. And then what he did was he took suggestions, or whether he wanted to do this or he took people's suggestions. We saw different time periods. We got to see Vikings. We got to see samurai. We got to see World War II. You know, what did the Predator... I mean, I never thought I'd see World War II planes in an aerial battle against a Yautja ship, man. That was dope. I loved all that shit. So, when we first started seeing images from Predator Badlands, I'm like, all right. And from the beginning, Dan Trachtenberg wanted to make a sci-fi action adventure that harked back to the kind of movies that we saw in the 80s. Now, when the Predator first came on the scene in 87. Now, at first, you know, even I was like PG-13 Predator movie that isn't kind of like what's it going to be, you know? But I kept in the back of my mind that, okay, it's a science fiction action adventure. And I was thinking, is it like After Earth? Like, is it going to be like that fucking movie? Like, you know, what is it going to be? But after I saw things, people saw the movie and were coming out and reviewing it and liking it. And everything people said, I'm like, okay. And then last night at the fan screening, I went and saw it, the early fan screening, went by myself. Nobody came with me. And I was delighted. I loved every minute of Predator Badlands. Every minute of it. It started out with a quote from the Predator Codex. Immediately world building. They're world building from the opening. The credits haven't rolled. We've just seen something, and we've learned something new about Yautja culture, about the Predator culture. I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then we get to see young Deck, our young Predator, squaring off against his brother. Now, I'm not going to spoil what happens in the movie. This is just the very opening scene, and it goes from there. And before you see the opening titles, I want to say 10 or 15 minutes go by. And by the time the opening, like, boom, which even that opening credit block, or the opening, it said Predator Badlands with the copyright note, it was like, it was telling you right away, okay, this is a throwback. We're going to take you back. And I laughed out loud. I was like, I loved it. Now, I can sit there and go, look, I don't understand when the movie Predator became so sacrosanct amongst people, but it's look, Predator isn't even a Die Hard. It's good. It's a great Schwarzenegger movie, and I love the introduction of the Predator. It's got a great score. I Ain't Got Time to Bleed. It's got an incredible cast. Jesse the Body Ventura. Hey, Shane Black's even in it. I mean, Carl Weathers. It's great. It's great. Predator's great. But it's a glorified B movie with an A budget. It is. And, I mean, you got to take it for what it is. It's not, I mean, to me, Alien and Aliens are highbrow. The Predator's down below that. One of the reasons I love supporting Predator Badlands, and one of the reasons I really like Predator Badlands, is I felt the authorship coming off of Dan Trachtenberg. I like what he's done with his previous two Predator movies, and I really like what he did with Predator Badlands. I feel that as a viewer and as an imagination connoisseur, I received value from all three of his movies. I liked them all. I felt the authorship was there. I felt he had something to say, and he succeeded in doing so. And that's exactly what I'm looking for whenever I'm, going after some kind of an IP. I want to believe I'm in the hands of somebody that has something to say. That's why I read books. That's why you read books from certain authors. You want to learn something, or you want to like something. I think that's really important, and I think that's what we get from Dan Trachtenberg, and that's why I think he should be supported.